Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another podcast. My name is Jared Weathers. I am joined, as always, by my co-host Aaron Ament, aka Who Gives a Fuck. Uh, and we are joined by the Devine, Dak, Ryan, all the way from Georgia. Who gives a fuck about Georgia? No one. Alright, guys, welcome. Dak, this is your first official podcast with us, and I'm actually really happy to have you on.
Well, thanks, man. I'm very happy to be here. I've always been a huge fan of podcasts, and I'm truly excited to be on here. I'm ready to talk about some wrestling.
Wrestling, that's how they say it down in the South, and we are going to start with New Japan Pro Wrestling's last show they had, the last pay-per-view they had, Dominion. Dak, you watched the whole thing. Would you like to take this away?
Yeah, I thought that Dominion, if you want my honest opinion, I think Dominion was one of the greatest professional wrestling shows I've ever watched.
Really?
And that comes. I'm very critical when I talk about professional wrestling, but I will say Dominion had me on the edge of my seat for the entire show.
Wow, that is some very high praise for pay-per-view.
And honestly, I didn't really expect any less out of New Japan Pro Wrestling. You know, New Japan is the number one staple, I think, of actual true talent wrestling. And everything they do is down to the inch, and it's perfect. And they really pulled it off with this one. They really pulled it off.
What was the first? Let's go through the match card. What was the first match on that show?
I'm trying to remember every match on there. You gotta remember it was a 6-hour show.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's very, very long. It's like Wrestle Kingdom. You gotta watch right in the middle, or you gotta stay up till late at night and then goes through the early morning of. That's just how much content that they put out because they're on a different time than we are.
Right.
They broadcast things differently. First match.
I'm looking up the match card right now.
Yeah. So.
I got you covered, man.
I actually have it right here as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it right now. We're gonna go with the El Desperado and Yoshinobu Hinumara, who were the champions, versus Sho and Yo, as we all know, they are with Rocky Romero.
Right, Roppongi 3K.
Yes. And I thought it was a very good match, very high-paced tag team match. There were a couple of spots here and there that were just kind of off to me. It kind of just, they were going with a high pace and they do something, it kind of just slowed down the match. But other than that, I thought it was a good show. And then, of course, the winners being El Desperado and his tag team partner via pinfall. And then, might I like to add, after the match, with Romero saying in the commentary, and he says, "It isn't over." And he calls them, "You are a bunch of punk bitches."
Wow.
So I'm kind of feeling like we're going to see a rematch there. I hope so. And then I thought this was an interesting card. And then this match kind of threw me off, but it ended up being really good. We had David Finlay and Juice Robinson versus Yoshihashi and Jay White. Did not expect that out of the card. Very, very good match. It was very surprising, especially considering the fact David Finlay and Juice Robinson, picked up the win via pinfall.
Really?
Yes. So that was also kind of a surprise.
Huh.
Also kind of a surprise there. This one also was one of those other tag team matches that were kind of just out there. And actually, I would like to add, after the match, Juice Robinson actually picked up the U.S. title belt and said, "I am your next U.S. champion." So I feel like we're going to see a match between Switchblade and Juice Robinson.
Now that would be a very good match. I'd actually be into that match a lot.
So am I. I'm a huge fan of both competitors, and I think they're both amazing talent.
Agreed.
I completely agree with that too.
Very excited to see that. And then the next match, this was a brutal match in my opinion. Very, very strong style. Like, we had Chiro Yanni and Tomohiro Ishii versus Zack Sabre Jr. and Suzuki. Now, we all know what Zack Sabre Jr. can do in the ring, and we also know what Suzuki can do in the ring, and Suzuki is a bad MF, let me tell you.
You can swear on this podcast. I do it all the fucking time.
We swear all the time on the podcast.
Well, actually, I'm going to pull a little bit of a Jim Ross, and he's a tough SOB, let me tell you that.
Yes, he is. He really is.
So we had Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. versus them two. Very good match. I also thought, those two never ceased to impress me. And, of course, who do you think won? Zack Sabre Jr. and Suzuki, but won by via submission.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was a good one. Now, this match is a very underrated match on the card that I enjoyed. Was Goto, who was the champion, the never openweight champion, versus Michael Elgin versus Tachi. Now, this match was out of the blue, in my opinion, but a very, very good match, and I did really like the result. I really did like the result, and it was Michael Elgin pinning and becoming the new never openweight champion. So glad to see Big Mike back out there. Very underrated wrestler, very good wrestler for his size, and I was really impressed. I was really impressed with that match.
The next one is the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and I can't say the name.
Oh, so not Evil.
No, I'm talking about the team name, the faction.
Los Ingobernables de Japón.
You fucked that shit up, Jesus Christ. Take a fucking class. Dakota, take it away, buddy.
Once again, these two teams are I high praise them very much, especially Evil and Sonata. Let me tell you a quick story about Sonata. If most of you don't know, Sonata was actually a X Division wrestler in TNA.
Really?
Yes, looks completely different. The man got absolutely jacked, changed his haircut, and became a whole lot better wrestler. Not to take away what he did in the X Division, very good wrestler there, and he was one of the only men that are trained by the Great Muta, which is a huge honor.
Wow.
I like what he's doing in New Japan. I personally thought he should have won the G1 Climax last year, or the last time they had it. Just because he just had such a big push and he was getting so much praise, and then they didn't make him win, which I thought didn't really make any sense. But that's just how it goes. Now, it was Sonata and Evil, who are also teamed with, Tetsuya Naito and all of them. They all have that group. And it was against the Young Bucks. The Bucks always doing their thing, Love the Young Bucks. Great guys to meet. Sonata with that famous moonsault that he does. But the Young Bucks picked up the win, and very good. Very good. And then I would like to add after that was the fact that Matt Jackson was talking about winning the title, post-match after this, and says they need a guy to call All In. And guess who they called to do All In?
Who?
Don Callis. Now, which is a fantastic pick. Now, this All In show is looking mighty nice, and it's very built, and I'm very excited to see it. So that was a huge surprise there. Really did enjoy it. Let's go with the next match, which was actually, I would say, my second favorite match on the card. It was Rey Mysterio, Jushin Thunder Liger, and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Marty Scurll, Hangman Page, and Cody, which is forward. very good match. God, high pace. Not too surprised. With Rey Mysterio being in there and all that stuff. I found that match very exciting to watch, and actually was really surprised when Bullet Club picked up the win.
Yeah, because when someone faces a legend like Jushin Thunder Liger, they don't usually win. It's usually Jushin who wins because he's so revered.
Yeah, he's god level status in Japan, and just to have the fact that they had Tanahashi and Rey Mysterio all on the same team, you'd think they'd get that over babyface win.
Yeah.
But New Japan threw a curve, and we got the Bullet Club coming out on top. Now, next match was another amazing match that I really liked. The winner of the Best of the Super Juniors 25, Hiromu Takahashi. Now, I used to not like Takahashi at all, and then I really grew on him. I really did start to like him. Him versus Will Ospreay, and I kind of knew that Takahashi was gonna win this match because of just all the hype he got from winning the Best of the Super Juniors, and Takahashi picked up the pinfall and is the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, which I really enjoyed a lot. Very high-paced match. It really didn't shock me when those two really gave out their all, and I really did enjoy the match. I thought the match was very, very good. Now, one of my other favorite matches on the card was Tetsuya Naito versus Chris Jericho. Now, Chris Jericho is my favorite wrestler of all time. Everyone knows this. I love Chris Jericho. And I really like that he brought out the tights again. Thank God. I love Jericho, but that man has chicken legs.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised to see that he's wearing tights. Very good match. Attacked him. Naito coming, Jericho attacking him from behind to start out the match. Very high pace, very hardcore. Putting Naito through the table that was set up on the guardrail. Powerbombed him right through it. And this is another thing that absolutely shocked the world. Chris Jericho picking up the win and becoming the new IWGP Intercontinental Champion. Couldn't be more happy for Jericho. Glad to see him wrestling in Japan, of course. And I really did like this match. It was very nice pace, very into it. I think best emotion out of the whole night.
So, since Jericho is the Intercontinental Champion in Japan, does that mean that he's not going to be making any more appearances for WWE for a while? Or is it like a transitional champion kind of thing, do you think?
No, it's definitely not going to be a transition. Vince does not want that title on this product. I already know that. I don't think Chris Jericho is going to have the championship for very long. Mainly because that's just how it is. I mean, it doesn't make sense to have Jericho hold the title for a long time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I kind of feel like he's going to lose it here soon, and I think he'll make his appearances on WWE here every now and then. But I heard that Vince was kind of okay with him going to New Japan, but kind of getting pissed. But who cares? I love professional wrestling, and I really love that moment. Now, for the so-called greatest match of all time. Greatest match of all time. Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. This match was absolutely incredible. It was better than any matches that they've done in the past, and it was ridiculous. Very high pace. The match ended up going for over 60 minutes, almost 70-minute match, which is incredible, especially over in Japan, because they like to go high pace all the time.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy the match. I think what killed it for me being the greatest match of all time was simply the fact everybody sat there and said it was the greatest match of all time, and they overhyped it. But it might be the greatest match of all time. But with wrestling is now, it might not be the greatest wrestling match of all time for too long because wrestling keeps getting better and better.
That is true.
So, we'll just have to see. I really did enjoy Dominion. Dominion was a very good show. I liked everything about Dominion. And it's funny to me how the Young Bucks and Kenny Kota Ibushi all formed the Golden Elite. Now, my predictions. I do believe that Kota Ibushi will win later on and face Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom 13.
Really?
That is my prediction. It's common wrestling sense. Think about it. They become a tag team for a short amount of time. They're all friends and stuff. Kota's going to try his heart out. It's going to be friend versus friend at Wrestle Kingdom 13. It's the perfect storyline. I don't know why you wouldn't go with it. It would be a phenomenal match. It just makes sense. But that was pretty much it for Dominion. I thought Dominion was very great. And I really did enjoy the content of Dominion. Yeah, so that's about it for me. But yeah, Dominion was a good show.
Alright, I did not watch Dominion, but I heard that the 2 out of 3 falls match, Omega versus Okada, was really, really good, which is good.
Yeah, I heard, Dave Meltzer say, it was the greatest match of all time. When with Meltzer, you can't really, because Meltzer sometimes kind of overdoes it.
Yeah, he overhypes it a lot sometimes, and a little too much.
Yeah, just like with his, just like a wrestling match rating should be up to 5 stars, and it shouldn't be any more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was not a 7-star match. There's no such thing as a 6-star, 7-star match. There's no such thing. You go up.
Right.
And
yeah.
then
It's stupid that he gave the last 2 matches that they had 6.5 stars or something stupid like that.
Yeah, it was like
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you have to think of it this way. You have to put everything into a wrestling match. It's not just the wrestling, it's the emotion, it's the commentary, it's the refereeing, it's the fans. That's what makes a perfect match. And, like, a good example is Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania could arguably one of the greatest matches of all time because of the emotion. But the wrestling was decent and the fan reaction was good. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't, if there's no such thing as a wrestling match that has all of those attributes together. Yet, I haven't seen it.
Right. So, staying on New Japan, they showed on Access TV a little bit, like, the ending matches of, Wrestling Dantaku for the 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
And, the only 2 I really remember from the first night is Cody and Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page. Both singles matches, both under half an hour, but my favorite one out of those 2 was Omega versus Hangman just because of one thing, because Hangman did a kind of like a reverse pile driver on a table that was just on the ground, and Kenny's head just right through, like, it was fucking brutal, like, for real.
Yeah, he hit the it's his move called the Rite of Passage.
Yeah.
And I do remember seeing something of that where he slammed him and his neck absolutely looked like it broke.
Yes.
And I was like, well, damn, And then, of course, seeing that rematch from Wrestle Kingdom 12 with Kota and Cody, they always put on a good match, They're both phenomenal wrestlers. I didn't see much of that show, and it's very surprising because I watch New Japan all the time, but I have not actually seen that show, and I need to go check it out.
Yes, agreed. Because that one, it was just really good, I thought, and I think it's my favorite Hangman match that he's ever had.
Hangman's a very, very underrated wrestler. That man is a phenomenal competitor.
He's really good.
You know, when I met him at a Ring of Honor event, you know, I told him that. I was like, hey, you know, you're very underrated. You know, I've really enjoyed you. I've enjoyed you forever now. And I also told him that I was like, you and that big package of yours. And he just started busting out laughing. You know, he's a really cool dude, and he's just got such a bright future ahead of him. And I really would like to see more of him in New Japan. You know, maybe even going. I think putting him in a match scenario, going for the U.S. title, I think would be a huge step for Adam Page.
That, or even going for the TV title ROH, something. He needs something.
He needs something. I wouldn't mind seeing him Ring of Honor World Champion. You know,
yeah.
The man needs something to back up his wrestling ability. You know, because right now he's put in these matches. You know, he's all good, but everybody forgets about him.
Yeah, because one of these matches, from the second night of Wrestling Dantaku, it was Bullet Club, which is Bad Luck Fale, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, the Golden Lovers, Omega, and Ibushi, versus the other half of Bullet Club, Cody, Page, Skrull, Matt, and Nick Jackson. And, like, he's always in these tag team matches, or 6-man tag team matches, or even this 10-man, and he doesn't really have singles matches, even though he can obviously go the distance. He's a good worker. You can tell he puts his all in the ring.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. You know, you usually see him in these kind of special matches, and you're kind of like, well, I want to see more of just Adam Page, you know? Yeah. I know what everybody else can do. I've seen everybody else wrestle in singles matches. Everybody in Bullet Club, I've seen them wrestle.
Yeah.
You know? And they're all phenomenal, but Adam Page he has this ability, and the man he's a big dude.
Yeah.
When I stood by him, you know, I'm only 5'8". I'm not a very big dude, and the man's about 5'11", 6 foot, but the man is jacked.
Yeah.
You know, and you really look at him standing next to the Buck, like Matt Jackson's as tall as I am.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's not tall at all. And same thing with Marty Scurll. I'm actually taller than Marty.
Oh.
But like Adam Page just has this physique and this character, and he can talk and he can wrestle and he can pull out special moves. And I'm sitting here wondering, put him in a title match. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Aaron, we haven't really heard from you, so.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I would love to see Adam Page against Christopher Daniels just in a one-on-one contest. I mean, even if no title was involved, I'd still watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do anything like that, you know. Him versus, I think him versus Scorpio Sky would be good. Him versus Kazarian. Him versus Daniels. Him versus... You know, him versus Dalton Castle would be a good match. Him versus Jay Lethal.
Totally.
You know, something like that, you know.
Yeah, like, put him more than just a tag team contest. Let him express his natural athletic ability in the ring.
Yeah, he
everybody post on social media, hashtag push Hangman Page.
Yes, push Hangman.
Hashtag push Hangman.
But, you know, I feel like, he, like all the Bullet Club members, well, most of the Bullet Club members, like Skrull or Cody, or even the Young Bucks or Omega, they all kind of branched out from Bullet Club, and they kind of do their own thing. And then you got Hangman that's always around all of them all the time. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like he's never too far away from Cody or the Bucks. They're always there. They're always next to him, kind of like keeping him down a little bit. And I feel like he should be able to branch out away from Bullet Club and make his own his own name, like a name for himself, without BC behind him.
I agree. I totally agree. It's just like, I mean, like, they gave Cody his opportunity, they gave Kimmy his opportunity, and Marty and all them, but, like, even putting Hangman Page with something like the TV title.
Yeah.
Would even be a great suit for Hangman Page.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just one of those things where you're like, oh, he's better than just a tag team wrestler. Like, he can do things. Look at the match he had with Kenny at Wrestling Dantaku. It was a great match.
Oh yeah.
See, to me, I kind of think he doesn't really need Bullet Club, but Bullet Club pretty much boosted his career.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Just like everyone.
I totally agree with him. I think Adam Page would have had a chance to push himself eventually, but I totally agree. Bullet Club really got him out there on the map, but now that he's, known and stuff, I really think him leaving Bullet Club and doing his own thing, I think he really would have a successful career doing that.
I'm not usually on board with people leaving certain promotions and going to other certain promotions, but if you took Hangman and you took him out of the Bullet Club, ROH, New Japan stuff, and you put him in NXT, I feel like he would be I feel like he could make a name for himself for the WWE audience without anybody behind him.
I couldn't agree more. God, I was thinking the same thing. Like, put him in NXT, but the problem is he wouldn't be called Hangman Page anymore.
That's true, but I feel like just being called Adam Page, I feel like it would still be okay because he's just that good of a wrestler and that even better talker.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. I think he could have a successful run in NXT and then, do his own thing. But I do, the man's young.
Yes.
I think him staying in the Indies a little bit longer just to see where he goes. But I do eventually see him in NXT definitely.
Oh yeah. So there's another thing that happened today. We're only at 27 minutes, so we do have time to talk about this other thing I want to talk about.
Alright.
Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion, has broken CM Punk's record of holding the title for the longest amount of days.
God, it's absolutely...
His record was 434 days.
Yes.
It's absolutely disgusting.
Well, I know no one in WWE is going to listen to this, but good job, Vince. You finally fucking did it, you fucking idiot. God damn it. It really pissed me off when I saw that.
They did the same fucking thing with AJ Lee when she fucking left. They did it with fucking Nikki Bella.
Yeah.
Like, made her break the fucking record when, honestly, Nikki didn't deserve it. There are so many other divas, and I say that,
while cringing.
Yeah, while cringing. They had great athletic women that had better caliber than fucking Nikki Bella. Like, Paige.
Yeah. Right, and I'm not like a huge supporter of Charlotte Flair, but I feel like even Charlotte deserved it way more than Nikki Bella fucking did.
Agreed.
Oh yeah.
It really pissed me off when I saw that this morning. I couldn't fucking believe it.
And I'm sitting here like, why would you want to give it to him that is defended it, what? How many times?
10 times.
Oh my god.
10 times. Yeah.
10 times over 100 from Punk?
Yes.
I think.
Plus, the fact that Punk had a concussion, staph infection, and other injuries, and he still fucking toughed it out for those 434 days of that title reign.
Yes, and I would also like to add congratulations to CM Punk for winning that trial. The WWE doctors did him absolutely wrong, and I couldn't be more happy for CM Punk right now.
So, like I said, we're only at half an hour, so there's something else I want to ask you guys. CM Punk lost his second UFC fight recently, the other day. And before that, he said that he never wants to come back to wrestling. After his second loss, though, could you see him maybe being all in since he's going to be there anyway the day before?
No. I do not see him at all in. I think the man's very serious about not coming back to wrestling, at least for a long time. There's no reason for CM Punk to come back. As much as I would love to see it, I just don't care, because the man, no matter if he's lost in UFC and stuff like that, the man set a goal for himself and said, I want to do this and I want to accomplish it, and I couldn't be more happy for CM Punk. The man's a true inspiration, no matter if he's in wrestling or in MMA. I really do appreciate CM Punk's work ethic and everything that he's done. The man is very talented. Yeah, he's lost 2 UFC fights. Was his second fight the best fight I've ever seen? No. In fact, it was one of the worst I've ever seen. You know, there was many mistakes, many rookie mistakes that he made. And I cannot stress this enough. People are saying, oh, you're an embarrassment, all that stuff. Oh, shut up. You wouldn't get in an octagon with somebody and get punched in the face like he did. That man has balls. That man had a dream that he wanted to do, and he went out and did it. And that right there, I believe, is a win in my book.
I completely agree with that. And the whole all-in thing, what Dak said, his heart's not in wrestling. No matter how much the fans want him to be there, he's not going to be there.
Exactly.
I will say, he may be there as a fan, but again, you don't know.
Exactly.
I highly doubt it, since he hasn't really watched wrestling in a while. Because recently I listened to his podcast he did with Colt Cabana a few years ago or so. He said that he stopped watching wrestling. So, again, you never know.
Yeah, like with, to add what Aaron said, he's not going to come back anytime soon. Do I see Punk in wrestling eventually? Yeah, I do. It just would make sense for him not to come back, but I do not see it anytime soon. And the man's doing what he wants to do. He's home with his wife, and he's home with his dog, and he's being happy. And that's all I could ever ask for from Punk. I just want him to be happy. I want everybody to be happy. You shouldn't be doing a career that you've done for so long, getting screwed over, everything bad happening to you and you being unhappy. It's not worth it.
Right, I totally agree. So, I really want to get your guys' opinions on the rumors for the SummerSlam main event.
God, fuck.
They're thinking about doing Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship again.
Fuck. Okay, no. Can we not talk about this? Because again, Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar. How many more times are we going to see Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar?
You know. I have something to say.
Yeah.
I want everybody to hear this. This is fucking stupid. Stop pushing a man that is not the guy of your company. If anything you should do, fuck it. Give the title to fucking Roman Reigns. At least he's there every week. As much as I hate saying it, God, I don't want to see this match. I've seen it plenty of times before, and it's all an embarrassment. I don't even give matches 2 stars. They're fucking terrible. I don't like it. I don't want to see it. Nobody wants to see it anymore. You're not going to get what you want, Vince, out of putting this match as the main event of the card for SummerSlam. That's one of your biggest pay-per-views of the year, and you're sitting here giving a match that everybody's already seen. Do you know what I would fucking do? Give what Daniel Bryan wants and give Brock Lesnar versus Daniel fucking Bryan.
Yes. Do that.
Well, I'm right.
Give the David versus Goliath kind of match that they planned to do 4 years ago. You know, of course, being then Daniel Bryan had to retire.
Yeah.
And you are still giving us the god-awful shit that we do not want to see, and it's ruining fucking business. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see it anymore. Give us something different, for Christ's sake.
Agreed.
Another good match I'd like to watch, Finn Balor and Brock Lesnar. We never got to see that one either.
I would also see that, and hell, I would even like to see Strowman versus Lesnar. God, give us something different.
Yeah.
Hell, put Curtis Axel against Brock Lesnar, and I would rather see it than Roman.
Agreed.
Just get rid of...
Actually, no, I take that back. I don't.
How about Bo Dallas and Brock Lesnar?
Oh yeah, like we did, like we haven't seen Bo Dallas get absolutely raped by fucking Lesnar to begin with.
True.
What about broken Matt Hardy versus Brock Lesnar?
God, I love Matt Hardy. Please.
2 twists of fate and he's done. He's fucking out, and Matt Hardy becomes the Universal Champion.
Listen, Lesnar and Matt Hardy. This is how the match is gonna go. Matt, you're gonna hit
a caution on the man going to win the Money in the Bank. The Miz.
God, yes. Well, let's please talk about Money in the Bank.
Alright. Let's talk about Money in the Bank. I don't think The Miz needs the win. No. I don't want him to win the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Well, explain to us why then.
Miz, okay, so really the reason for Money in the Bank is to make new stars. Miz is already as over as anyone else is, and he doesn't need it. He can go up to whoever in the back and be like, I want a title shot, and they'll be like, okay, well you're the fucking Miz, so why not? Why not Strowman or something? Someone else.
Well, that's where I'm going to stop you. Why would you give a briefcase to a man that's almost 7 feet tall? Can't he just win it on his own?
Apparently not.
And, yeah, apparently not. And you don't need to give it to Joe. Joe's a good heel. Joe can go out there and win it on his own. The reason I want Miz to win Money in the Bank, and this is the only reason, is The Miz is the greatest villain to Daniel Bryan. Put the title on Bryan, or even make Miz cash in and win, and make them face each other. It would be a perfect story. They've done it before. They could do it much better this time, and it would be absolutely perfect. The Miz is the total character to have the briefcase. The man is a great talker. I'll admit he's not the greatest in the ring, but the man can talk with that briefcase, and it would give him a huge push. It would give Daniel Bryan a huge push, and you would have a great storyline.
Okay, well, I want to jump in real quick. Wouldn't giving Daniel Bryan the title automatically want Miz to face him because of their past?
That's what I'm saying. You can use the briefcase to do that, and it would just be a whole flashback all over again. People would love to see it. I think we didn't get enough before. I think it ended too early. It was not for something serious. It was for the U.S. title. Putting it as for the world title, even making it a match at WrestleMania 35, people would go absolutely berserk over it because it's old stuff that's being renewed, and bam, you have a perfect storyline.
Exactly. I will add, especially after that shoot that Miz did back in 2016, you know, the whole how Daniel Bryan's a coward shoot, that would definitely add more fuel to the fire. Because then Bryan can hit him back with that, like, oh, you remember you called me a coward? Well, who's the coward now, Miz? You know, just add more to the story.
It's perfect. giving it somebody to like Strowman or Samoa Joe who doesn't really need it, who's already kind of over and can kind of do it on their own, just really wouldn't make any sense in my opinion. I think Miz is the perfect candidate for it. I think giving the Money in the Bank briefcase to a face, I think is already stupid enough because it's a heelish, cowardly act.
Yes. Well, have you heard the rumors about Big E maybe winning it and then turning on the New Day?
I would love to see that. I think giving Big E a huge chance for the world title is an absolute perfect idea. The man's a good wrestler. The man is strong. The man has a physique. And I really do think he could actually pull off being a heel and him turning on the New Day, because I'm sick of seeing the New Day. I believe that would also be... That's my second pick.
I think that Big E is underrated as a talker.
Oh, very much.
Because you see him in the New Day promos, and he's one of like the funniest guys, and he talks really well, and everyone says like he's strong, sure, but he's also a really good talker. He's a strong talker.
Exactly, and the man, and he's a very underrated wrestler. I loved him as a side bodyguard to when Dolph Ziggler and AJ were around. I really enjoyed that from Big E. Big E played a good role. He was very intimidating. People didn't want to get in his way, and I think you could really make that better now by giving him the briefcase. Turning on the New Day. Saying, "Oh, I don't need Kofi. I don't need Xavier anymore."
Right.
I'm going for the world title, and I really do think it would be a good match, and it would be a really good storyline to go with.
Honestly, Big E never really needed Xavier Woods or Kofi.
No.
To be honest,
No.
He was a star. He was a star athlete. It's himself.
Yeah, and it's like Vince was like, "Oh, I'm gonna put a bunch of black guys in a group." And it's like, it was funny at first. I really enjoyed it, and now I'm just like, this is fucking stupid. Why are we doing?
Well, Kofi didn't even really need that group either. He's been around for 11 years. Like he could be like, "Fuck you" at any time.
None of them need it. Xavier's a good wrestler. Big E's a good wrestler. Kofi's a good wrestler. They're all phenomenal competitors. Now, Xavier and Big E, I do believe, are the better talkers out of the group. But
yes.
Kofi's time has multiple championship reigns, and I really do think that would have. He really didn't need it. Big E didn't need it, and Xavier didn't need it.
Exactly. Just a whole, collaboration of great athletes for fun. And, it kind of did help their career, but did it really, do anything to help them get better?
Right. Well, I think Xavier needed it more at the time because he wasn't really doing anything. He was just kind of there. And after they formed the New Day, his stock has gone way up, and he's a great wrestler, great talker, but at the time he did need that group to make his stock go higher, and that's what happened.
I agree.
Now, because before the New Day, Xavier Woods, I believe, was tagging with Brodus Clay, or I believe after Brodus Clay was let go, he was with, Cameron and Naomi.
Yeah.
And after Cameron was released, Naomi started doing her own thing, and then Xavier Woods was just left in the dust.
Yeah.
And I believe he was on the chopping block to be released.
Yeah, and then they formed that group, and right now they could all go their separate ways, and everyone would be okay with it. But at the time, he needed his stock to go up, and it has, and they can all leave now. It's okay.
Let me tell you something about Xavier. Now, the man was Consequences Creed in TNA, teamed with Jay Lethal. The man I've seen his wrestling. The man is phenomenal. Why not give him something like that? And the man can talk. The man is quick-witted. He's clever.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, all right, WWE, why not? Let's do this, Let's break up the New Day, and let's give Xavier, Kofi, and Big E all what they deserve.
Hashtag break up the New Day.
Hashtag
And
break up the New Day.
also, the weird thing is, Xavier Woods is the only New Day member that hasn't won the Intercontinental Championship.
That is true.
Yeah, or any title. Did he win any title?
Wasn't he U.S. champion?
Tag champion, but that was it. But like singles championship, no, he hasn't won the singles title in WWE.
And I loved Big E as Intercontinental Champion.
He was the next Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's time for them to go their separate ways now, since, I mean, they're just as over as anyone else. They are, and it's time to end it.
Yeah. I've actually been wanting the New Day to end for a while now. It's kind of dragging out.
Yeah, it's been getting old. I mean, the Bootios thing was great. When are we gonna get our fucking WWE ice cream bars?
Still on that.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm still waiting for my New Day pops too, but
Where the fuck?
they never have. Where the fuck are they? They've been promoted since WrestleMania last year. Come on, get with the damn program.
Agreed.
I think after they bring out New Day pops, they should be split.
Indeed. Yes. Let's throw off every WWE fan.
Alright, guys. That's it for this podcast. My name is Jared Weathers. I'll have links in the descriptions to my YouTube channel, Dak's YouTube channel, and Aaron's YouTube channel. For these two motherfuckers, I will see all of you next time. Go read a goddamn book. God damn it.
Yeah. Love this podcast or deal with it.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that, tough shit.
We got 2 words for ya. Suck it, motherfuckers. Go read a book. Damn it. I gotta say it every single time. You gotta go read a book. Fuck. America's...
God, and to all the fans that are listening to this, fuck you. And fuck what you think. Dak Ryan is the next big thing of professional wrestling. You just wait and see it. I am Devine, Dak Ryan. I was so happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me on here. I really did appreciate it.
No problem, Dak. Hashtag, for everyone who uses Twitter, hashtag Dak Ryan for ROH champion. Go tweet it.
Awesome, dude.
Alright, guys. For real, though, I love having Dak Ryan on. He's a fucking national treasure. Aaron Awesome just pisses me off, dude. Fuck you.
That's not my name.
I don't give a fuck. Do I look like I give a fuck? Oh, you can't see me. This is not. It's not a video call.
Go kick out at 2.
Alright, guys. Go read a book.